Hi everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Kia K5 GT. Now, honestly, I know some people say the sedan is dead. I actually forgot this one existed. So let's see if this can make a memorable impression on me. Let's get started. We get started in the front and we can see this thing is really mean looking. First, that sapphire blue color is spectacular. I love the way that this looks. It really stands out from a crowd of grays, blacks, whites, yeah, and even some blues. Yeah, this is definitely a brighter blue that will get your attention. With this being the GT model, we do have some unique aggressive looks to it. I love these headlights. These definitely LED headlights look great. This grille is just spectacular. There's something so nice about the shape that they have for this, and also the bottom of the front bumper is a nice design to it. I love the black and the blue and this like gunmetal color here. So yeah, it's a really nice, super aggressive front end, especially from Kia. So the other thing as well, we do have the front facing camera to pair up with the rest of the cameras for a really great 360-degree camera system. So I really like the way that this uses those cameras. They're clear, the screen is clear, so definitely a nice system. Yeah, but overall, this is a really nice looking front end. I like the blue. I'd go with that. Let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 2.5 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine cranking out 290 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed dual clutch auto with the wet type clutch, and it is going to the front wheels. Now, a couple of things with this. You're gonna want the all-wheel drive model because 311 pound-feet of torque honestly is too much for just the front wheels. It is spinning them very quickly. Yeah, and the other reason why is, so the turbo is massive. It's a really massive turbo under here, and it's a little unpredictable. Yeah, it really is, because it'll spool. It's like a surge of power too. So it's not like turbo kind of kicks in and like some classic cars that have turbo lag. It's just a really unpredictable surge of power at sometimes 2,500 RPMs, sometimes 3,500 RPMs, up to even sometimes 4,500 RPMs. So it's kind of weird how the power is being delivered to the front wheels. It's fun. It's fun because now you're needing to manage and learn, manage that power. But yeah, that was a little on the crazy side. It sounds great. It really does. Out of the exhaust, it sounds really great. I was impressed on the sound. You can pump in some sound and it amplifies how good it sounds. So yeah, that was the impressive thing. The transmission has been fine. No issues with the transmission. The shifts have been really nice and clean, aggressive when they need to be, really calm when they need to be as well. Yeah, this drivetrain has been fun to say the least. And yeah, just be aware that it's gonna come up. The power will come up really quick. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this nice 19-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 245/40 Pirelli P0 tire. Now, a couple of things with this. So I like the design. I like the black. I like the fact that the inserts are black, and we have some kind of polished face pieces there. The tires are needing some help. They're needing some help before they get to the tire, because again, with this having that much power at only the front wheels, it's very easy to get these spinning. Yeah, and losing traction, especially in mid corner. The way that boost kicks in, it needs to be managed a little bit better. As far as like everyday driving, road noise is non-existent. Yeah, I mean, it's the braking power is exceptional. I love the brakes in this. The pedal is really good. The initial bite is really nice on this. But yeah, it really, these tires need help, because I know they can be grippier tires. than what we're experiencing here. It's really the way that the power is being distributed between the front wheels, which is why I said we definitely need the all-wheel drive option. Yeah, but other than that, the 19-inch design is nice. The size and the design is nice. And yeah, it was not bad, minus that spirited aspect of it when you get on it. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see, yeah, this thing looks really nice. It's a sedan. But a couple of things. You can see it kind of has a baby stinger kind of feel to it. But we get started on the front and we can see that boomerang turn signal, which just looks so good. One of my favorite design cues of this K5. And we have the 19-inch wheels, which look really well inside of that wheel well in there. And yeah, overall, this blue sapphire or sapphire blue is really trying to get your attention, and it succeeds. It looks really good. Another thing that I really like about this K5 is we have this chrome trim that literally goes all around from the back to the other side on this. It's such a line that catches your eyes. It's a really good design cue. And usually I'm a fan more of black window frames, but I'll let the chrome pass because it definitely serves its purpose to keep your eye moving along its design line essentially. And we have the black mirrors here, which is a nice little accent touch with that nice camera system in here for, again, that 360-degree view. But yeah, overall, this side profile is really nice. Now, I don't have the key fob with me. Let me go ahead and get it off camera. The reason why is because the moment you get the key fob, so I'll put it in my pocket, and you get near, it's gonna go ahead and recognize that you're close to it. So you would think you grab the handle and you open, but that's not the case. Come on, Kia, don't tease me with that and then not unlock this. So you do have to push the button to unlock and then you can get in. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. So you go ahead and close it, you lock that there, and we go to the back and there is nothing here. So you do have to press the front to go ahead and get the back open. Yeah, I was kind of let down by that, especially when you know that I'm in the proximity of the vehicle when you move the mirror. But let's go ahead and head to the back and see what we have back there. We take a look at the back and yeah, this thing is really nicely designed. There's a lot of great elements to this. The taillights look really good. They stick out from the body to basically become part of the line. So I really like that design. And then we have this long piece here, which again just adds to that great design. And we have this nice little spoiler up here. It is black. I like the fact that it's black and it wasn't the body color to really stand out. It's a small subtle thing, but it looks really good. We have the GT badging, K5 badging, and down here we have some nice things. We have dual, so quad tip exhaust down here, and we have this kind of like small diffuser, probably not super functional, but it's got this like black chrome design to it. So I really like the way that that looks there. But yeah, overall, this thing is really nice. Oh, and this trunk, it is a little on the quirkier side. So we do have kind of like these two parts to it. And we have that chrome accent line that I mentioned that just kind of goes all around the front, from the front all the way to the back of the K5. Now, I don't have the key fob with me. Let me go ahead and grab it off camera again, because this does have one of my favorite things with Kia, that when you get near it, it will go ahead and pop the trunk. So yeah, I didn't touch anything, so it pops the trunk. And it's a really wide opening, but it's not a very tall opening. Typical sedans, so just be aware if you're putting a tall box in there, it may not be the best, but a long box, you're gonna be fine. But once you get that big item through this opening, it is really massive. There is a ton of space in there, so it is a nice touch to that. It is only a remote pop-up, but it will not close. So yeah, that's just kind of a bummer with this, but yeah, we go ahead and close it, and we go ahead and lock and hold down the remote, because this has remote start. Yeah, it's getting really hot, so let's go ahead and hop in and go for a ride. We get inside of the Kia K5 and it's kind of sporty. It definitely has some sporty feel to it, and some luxury touches as well. Let's get started on the door. So the door is nicely placed. You know, the armrest is nicely placed, nice and comfortable. Materials are fairly nice. You know, they all have that soft touch feel to them, which is really good. One thing that's kind of weird though, so we do have kind of like two handles. We have the handle that is the armrest itself, but then a little further where you have like the window switches, we have this like black little lip here that kind of comes up, which is probably where you would be grabbing. Yeah, it's mainly for that, because obviously when you have the door, it's the closest to you as opposed to the armrest area. It's kind of quirky in the sense that it kind of works, but then it kind of doesn't, because it's so small that it's very hard to grab. Then we get over to the seats, and the seats are really nice. They are very comfortable. They have the nice GT badging or the stitching right there. I love the color. I love that tan color, especially with a lot of black in here. So it is a nice touch to have that there. They're extremely comfortable. We do have the cooled and heated options. I keep forgetting that we have the cooled and heated options because the controls are not in my line of sight here on the kind of dash. They're way back here. So yeah, that's one of the things, and it's been hot. Today, thankfully, it's a cooler 77, but yeah, it's one of those things where, man, I wish they were just kind of here on the AC unit or the AC controls there. But either way, they're really nice. I like them. Then we get over to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is nice. So we have a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. We do have some darker stitching. I would have liked the same kind of tan stitching that this has to kind of give it more life or more pop. It has a great shape to it. The give on the wheel itself is nice. The ergonomics is really good. Flat bottom, so that is a nice touch. We have that flat bottom down here, and then we get over to the side, and on the left side we have the volume controls, which I really love this. So you hit the switch down and it's gonna go to the next track, and obviously up is the previous track. Yes, you're going down the list of your songs, and the volume switch is there, really nicely placed. No complaints with that. And then on the right hand side we have the controls for the gauge cluster and your driving your cruise control settings. So yeah, really nice wheel. I like it. And we have the paddle shifters in the back, which are kind of on the smaller side, I'd say, and they're kind of fairly towards the center, so you do have to kind of reach out a little bit more than really I'd like to. But yeah, overall it is a nice touch to this wheel. Then we get to the gauge cluster, and we have analog gauges. We have analog gauges, and in the center we have the little digital display, which we can change the looks to it, as well as obviously the content that we have. So we have things like the oil temperature, torque, and turbo setting there, so a little bit of a sportier feel to it. Then we have the drive info, meaning your trip info, your MPGs, that kind of stuff, your compass, your attention level, make sure you're awake, and then your tire pressure and that kind of, your speedometer. So very simple things, very effective though. So my favorite, obviously, the little race checkered flag that gives you the oil temperature, the torque, and the turbo PSI. So yeah, it's nice. No complaints about the tachometer or the speedometer. It just plain and simple. I would have liked to have the camera system integrated into those, so I would have liked the whole screen like Kia does with other vehicles, where you turn the turn signal on and it uses the mirrors to go ahead and show you your blind spot. So would have been a nice touch to it. Then we get over to the infotainment screen, and it's nice. It's nice. This one I can actually reach the buttons, unlike others that are a little bit further out and you know, just a little bit more difficult to kind of reach, and having to reach over those buttons on the side. And it does have the Bose system. It's been okay. It hasn't been like super great, but yeah, I mean, it does the job. It plays your tunes nice and loud. And yeah, we have Apple CarPlay, but it is not wireless. It is a wired system. Come on, Kia, this is a 2022. We should already be getting wireless Apple CarPlay in your vehicles. It's a shame that we don't. So you'll probably have to buy like one of those projection adapters, and yeah, it's such a pain. But yeah, overall everything else is great though. Nice screen. No complaints about the quality of it. And yeah, it's actually pretty responsive as well. We come down a little bit more and we have your AC controls. I love these AC controls is the better word, because we have the auto. So I don't have it on right now because it's probably gonna be a little too loud for this, but I love the fact that we have 3 auto settings. So it basically, let's say if I want to put it at 70 degrees, I can have the low, medium, and high, so it can really blast to get me to that 70 degrees, or it can normally do it, or a little bit lower, in case you don't want too much of that air blowing at you. But yeah, overall, I do like this. It's very simple, very straightforward, no complaints when it comes to that. Then we come a little bit lower and we have that USB connection down here that we need, because again, this doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay. And we do have a little cubby area there, which is a nice touch to it. Can put my phone there, no complaints with that. We come back a little bit more, and on the right side, we'll start with that. We have the cup holders, no complaints, really nice and big, no issues with getting a cup in there. We come over to the left and we have the shifter. I love this thing. This thing is awesome because it feels like you're in a fighter jet. And this is kind of the thrust to the fighter jet. It's so awesome. I love the way that this is shaped. I love the way that it feels. And obviously when you put it in manual mode, it's even better because you're able to just kind of shift through the gears and just, a little top gun action there. So it's a nice design. I do love this. It was definitely a favorite of mine. We come a little bit back and we have the auto hold. We have your electronic parking brake, your camera view, your parking assist options there. So yeah, very simple, very straightforward. A little bit back and we have those seat warmers and seat cooler as well, which is what I said. I wish this were kind of here because it'd be easier to just kind of manage and remember, oh yeah, I need to cool the seats because it is scorching hot today. Then we come back a little bit more and we have the wireless charger. Now I love this wireless charger because it's vertical and it just kind of goes through a little door that it has here, and you're able to charge your phone. Yeah, it's really nice. The problem, again, we don't have wireless Apple CarPlay, so I'm having to really use this. And the Bluetooth option, because there's kind of like a pseudo, oh yeah, we have a kind of a CarPlay-esque kind of thing. It's bad. I don't like it. Like, give me the whole CarPlay or just don't do anything else at all. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that we don't have that, because this wireless charger is a really nice touch. Then we get to the armrest, and the armrest is nice. We have that material that is really nice and soft. It's very comfortable, nice positioning. And then we open it up and it's an okay amount of space. You can put a small box in there. Nothing, a little like 3x3 kind of box. But yeah, it's a nice little area. Right now I have my sunglasses in there, so no issues. And then we get to the back, and with my kiddo having his booster seat there, no issues. I was looking at it this morning and thinking, if he were smaller and we need the actual kid seat, the full-size kid seat, we'd probably have a little bit of a problem. Passenger would have to be bumped up a little bit more, maybe to the point where it may not be the most comfortable. So just be aware of that. Again, back area isn't the biggest, but for adults, it would work fine. Then the trunk area. The trunk area was pretty good. It has a good amount of space. There's a lot of depth to it. I was surprised by the opening, that it wasn't really the biggest opening, especially the way that the trunk lid is. Yeah, I was surprised. But if you can get something within that space, once you put it in, you can go all the way to the front of the back seats. So there is a ton of space back there. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, cranking out 290 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed dual clutch auto transmission with the wet type clutch, and then going to the front wheels. Now, there is an all-wheel drive model, and honestly, I think this needs it because that's a lot of power for the front wheels. Now, it also, I don't think it manages it that well. So I'll go ahead and drive modes. So I have the option of custom, which you can completely customize, you know, go into the settings, and it's gonna tell you for powertrain, steering, and traction control options there. I can also go to Sport Plus, which is basically, or actually, we'll go to normal. Normal is obviously just normal. Then Sport gives you a little bit of a sportier feel, throttle response, and then Sport Plus takes away the traction control for this, and then custom, obviously, like I showed you, you guys can customize those parameters. So we'll go ahead and stay in sport mode because there is a lot of torque steer with this. There is, you know, a lot of fighting for traction in this, which can be fun. It really can be fun, especially when you're putting that much power down. So now I'm gonna go ahead and from a stop, I'll go ahead and hold it, give it some go. It revs up to 2,000 and away we go. Yeah, we got some wheel spin, traction control's kicking in, and yeah, once that boost kicks in, it goes. Yeah, it's surprisingly quick. But the weird thing is, so I'm in manual mode, I'll use the paddles. The weird thing about this is the power delivery. It's like a surge of boost. And it's weird because it kind of happens in unpredictable spots of the RPM. Sometimes it happens at like 2,000. Sometimes it happens at like 3,500. It's just really weird of when that turbo kind of kicks in. Yeah, there it kicked in till 4,000. Yeah, so it's just, that's the only thing that I'm a little confused by how this is delivering the power. Oh, the brakes, yes, this is amazing. Whoever is designing the Elantra and this is brake pedal, you deserve all the raise in the world. You really do, because it just feels so good. The initial bite to it is so rewarding to have. It's just incredible how those brakes just bite down and get this guy stopped. It's so good. But again, that surge in power is just kind of, it's a little unpredictable. And on the turn-ins, when it finally kicks in, it just washes away. It's like a typical, you know, front-wheel drive, even though nowadays, when you put your foot down on some of these like electronic differential vehicles, it will actually get the car rotated more. Not with this though. It definitely is lacking that. It's lacking that turn-in that some of these newer front-wheel drive vehicles have. Like I did with the Elantra, that thing was incredible at like mid-corner turn-in. Yeah, there is a ton of wheel spin in this. It's incredible how much wheel spin this thing has. I mean, it's not really incredible. You would expect it with that much power, but I would think it would control it a little bit. But at least it's straight. That is the one thing. But again, maybe when you're on those mid corner and you give it some gas, it's gonna wash away. Like I said, it's just, I don't know. It's somewhat fun, but still somewhat scary. The steering wheel though does feel good, so there is some great feedback to it. That's not a concern. But yeah, I would definitely say get the all-wheel drive model to get the power down, you know, a lot better, a lot faster. Yeah, but overall though, the feel to this is just incredible. It sounds good too. It really does sound good. Granted, I do have the I will mention I do have the sound getting pumped in at the highest level, because even at the lowest setting, or actually completely off, it was nice. It was nice, and it's just amplifying that same sound, or at least it's simulating that same sound. But yeah, overall, this thing hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad. It feels great for an overall, for daily driver. This is nice. This is nice. The suspension feels great. The brakes are just so good. Yeah, you want to get a little bit sporty, put it in sport mode, and you can definitely get this guy going. The only thing is, yeah, just watch out. If you're a little too heavy on your right foot, you need the all-wheel drive option. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Kia K5. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.